Hello, hello. Welcome. Namo Buddhaya, my brothers and sisters in the Dharma. Suki Hontu. I'm Alex from BMSM. We are so lucky to have Bhante and Nyaninda with us again tonight. And I can see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar names. Thank you for dropping by again. And to the first timer, welcome to Exploring Your Reality series, which is organized by Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia Youth Section, BMSMYS, together with Venerable Nyaninda. Just want to clarify, this is the Exploring Your Reality series, which happens on the first Saturday of every month, means only one time a month, because we have another series called The Awareness of Dharma in Our Daily Drama, which is happening on every Friday night. Yeah, so it's different. The Awareness of Dharma in Our Daily Drama every Friday, and this, the Exploring Your Reality series, one time every month, every first Saturday of the month. All right, and today, this is our 10th episode of this series, and it's called All Problems, One Cause, One Cure. So welcome again. We encourage everyone to turn on your camera, your video throughout the session for better interaction. And as always, we will record and submit the minutes that you have accumulated during the group meditation, which is going to happen later for the 4M website, which is Million Minutes of Metta and Mindfulness. Without any further ado, let us invite our sister, Siu Yin, to lead us on the requesting for the 3 refuges and 5 precepts from Bhante and Nyaninda. So pass it to you, Sister Siu Yin.
Brothers and sisters in the Dharma, let us now request for 3 refuge and 5 precepts from Bhante Nyaninda. Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Pancha Silang Dhammang Yachami Anugahang Katwa Silang Deta Me Bhante Tutiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Pancha Silang Dhammang Yachami Anugahang Katwa Silang Deta Me Bhante Tatiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Pancha Silang Dhammang Yachami Anugahang Katwa Silang Deta Me Bhante
Yamahang Vadami Tam Vadeta.
Amma Bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranam gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tisaranena gamanam paripunam.
Amma Bhante.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adina dana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Adina Dana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kamesu michachara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musawada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Surameraya maja pamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Suramiraya Majapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Idame silang asawa kaya wahang hotu.
Idame silang asawa kaya wahang hotu.
Idame silang nibbana sa pacayo hotu.
Idame silang nibbana sa pacayo hotu.
Tisaranena saha panca silang damang sadukang katwa pamadena sampadeta.
Nama Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now we will do a short meditation. What we will do today is very simple. It's just awareness. To me, it's very important for us to train ourselves to have more awareness without adding our extra thoughts, perceptions to whatever we see, hear, and so on. So what we'll be doing today is basically, I call it seeing is just seeing, hearing is just hearing, smelling just smelling, tasting is just tasting, feeling is just feeling, without adding any concept, stories, or beliefs. Basically, to notice with kindness any physical sensation as they arise in your own perception. Okay, we will start. Relax the whole body, but stay alert, awake. Keep the back straight, but comfortable and relaxed. You may choose to close your eyes if you want, but if you are sleepy, you can keep your eyes a little open, enough for little light to come into your eyes. Take a deep breath all the way in to your navel. Breathe in total relaxation and feel the peace and calmness of this moment. Breathe out, releasing all tension and stress. Again, breathe in. Feel the present moment, the peace that is available at this present moment, the quietness. Breathe out, release all memories of the past and plans for the future. You can always pick them up later. And finally, again, breathe in, totally be with this present moment. Again, breathe out. Let go of everything. Relax your facial muscle. Shift your attention into the space within your body. Basically, move your awareness from outside to inside. Aware of any discomfort or tension in the body. Let go of all this, any discomfort or tension if you can. If not, just accept them as they are. Check into this stillness, this peacefulness. We'll start with the body physical sensation. Observe with kind curiosity the sensations in the physical body. Explore all physical sensations in the whole body. Look and witness. Explore with curiosity. Feel the body as if you are feeling it for the very first time. Let go of all familiar perceptions, ideas, concepts that you have before. Each of us have a unique own way of perceiving physical sensation. Just aware of whatever sensation, without labeling, without judgment, without any concept. Feel the warmth in the body or the coldness. The subtle contraction of the muscles. The feelings of the upper lips resting on the lower lips. Feel the weight of the body. The hardness of your bones or the softness of your flesh. The feeling not so important is your awareness. Aware of each physical sensation like an explorer feeling for the very first time. It could be just the feeling of being full from eating dinner. Just simply know, simply aware of whatever physical sensation. Feeling is just feeling without stories. Let the physical sensations fade away. Slowly move the awareness of sound or vibrations. Fully aware of any sound that enter your ear. Just aware without labeling, judging, adding extra story to the sound. Fully be with the awareness of the sound. Any sound that comes in, just aware, without labeling. Hearing is just hearing. Let the sound fade away slowly, and slowly move your awareness to the smell. The smell might be strong, neutral, or even undetectable. It is okay. Any smell that comes through your nostril, you can aware of the smell of recently eaten meal, the smell of the wind moving in your room, or your own body smell. Just aware of any smell without labeling, preference, judging, adding extra story to the smell. Fully be with the awareness of the smell. Smelling is just smelling. Let the awareness of the smell slowly fade away. Move to the awareness of taste. Pay attention to the sensation in the mouth, maybe the leftover taste of tea or coffee or any food, or just the warmth or lubricating saliva as you swallow. Just aware of any taste without labeling, preference, judging, adding extra story to the taste. Just observe without comparison. Fully be with the awareness of the taste. Tasting is just tasting. Let the perception of taste fade into the background and rest in awareness. Just aware of whatever is happening. Now we are ready for the last sense of sight. Before we do that, make the intention that when you open your eyes, try to see everything around you as if you are seeing them for the very first time. Release all familiar perceptions, ideas, concepts that you have about the space around you and its contents and occupants. Release even the image of yourself. Try to see every texture, shadow, everything as though for the very first time. Now slowly open your eyes. Fully see what is around you without labeling, preference, judgment, or extra story. Fully be with the awareness of seeing. Seeing is just seeing. Gently close your eyes again. Rest in awareness for a moment. Explore what helps us to perceive our sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, which is the mind. So turn your attention to the mind. You may notice thoughts arising. Let the thoughts pass through the mind like clouds passing through the sky. Notice without judgment, without attachment, without adding extra story. See each thought As it fades away and new thoughts come, but aware of the space between the thoughts, aware of the space of the mind and what is happening in it. Let the space of the mind expand and grow. Aware, but don't grasp into anything. Release all thoughts and just rest in this awareness. Okay, put your attention to your heart. We will end by doing a very, very short loving kindness meditation. Aware of the peace and calm that's naturally within us. Allow this good energy of calm and peace that's within us to spread to the whole body, the chest, the hands, the head, and down to the legs. Wishing every single part of the body to be well, to be happy, calm, and peaceful. And expand our attention, awareness to include all beings, all our loved ones, family members, relatives, friends. Wish each and every one of them reawaken their natural peace and calm and love inside them. May they be well, be happy, be at ease, be comfortable. Continue to expand our awareness to all other beings. Beings are neutral to us, or people that we meet at work, office, on the way to the work, people that we meet at the market, supermarket, farmers, people who take care of our electricity and water, who collects our rubbish, all the unseen heavenly beings, or other unseen beings, all the animals, wishing each and every being reawaken their natural calm and peace. May all beings be well, be happy, be calm and peaceful, be at ease, be strong and healthy. Just feel your body. If you can feel your body, can slowly open the eyes. Okay, today we'll start today's sharing. The title is All Problems, One Cause, One Cure. I want to remind everyone again that the aim of the teaching of the Buddha is awakening to the reality of life or awakening to the truth. So we must always come back to this aim. Okay? But why we want to reawaken to the reality? It's because we will have freedom and liberation, and basically freedom from all our insecurity and fear. All of us have certain degrees of insecurity and fear. When you awaken to the reality of life, you'll be free and liberated. Okay. Because when you awaken to the reality that all problems have one cause and one cure, you will be free from all the problems. So a few weeks ago, someone told me that someone thinks that Buddhists have no motivation in life. Not true. We are extremely motivated to solve all problems once and for all. We are very ambitious, in fact. So all our problems actually have only one cause, which is getting lost in our thoughts or becoming servant to our thoughts. So we only need one cure, which is not get lost in our thoughts. That's all. So imagine letting your car drive you instead of you are driving the car. Your life will be in a mess if you let your car drive you. Okay, we never do that. But normally we let our thoughts drive us around. We become the servant of the thoughts. These thoughts or voices which tell us you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you didn't do enough on this, money is not enough, and so on, are the cause for our stress, fear, and tension. So you might ask, are thoughts the problem? My question is fire a problem? Well, depending on how we use it. You can use fire to cook something, or fire can burn you. So similarly, thought is a very powerful tool if you use it properly, and it's a very powerful creative tool. So like right now, do you have any problems right at this moment? I'm quite sure no, because you are not lost in your thoughts. And your mind is naturally calm after the meditation that we did. You might have thoughts, but you are not really paying attention to them because you are listening to me, I hope. Okay. You can't be listening to me and thinking at the same time. So the cure is not paying attention to your thoughts, not treat them as a master. When you do that, all problems solved, done. Okay, but I'll explain more. So we will start by a video. I'll explain the video first so that you can get more out of the video. So this video is done by a transformation coach called Michael Neal. He basically shared this idea of we live in our thoughts instead of living in the world. So in this video, basically, he explained that all of us, every one of us to a different degree, have fear and insecurity. And he called it monsters in our life. Or he called it dragon, sorry. It's like monsters in our life, dragon. He called it dragon. And to cope with this insecurity or fear, we play different games. Some people play the health game. We try to make ourselves very healthy so that we feel secure because we are very worried, we might fall sick and so on. Or we play the love game. We make sure everyone loves us so that we feel very secure. Or we play the money game. We try to get as much money so that we feel secure. Or we play the power game. We make ourselves very powerful, very strong so that we feel secure. All is to handle this dragon of insecurity. But if you find that in the end, there's really no dragon, it's created by you, you can still go on and play the health game, the money game, the power game, but in a different way, not as if your life depends on it. So let's watch the video first, then you will see what I mean. Siu Yin? Okay.
So I said I'd share the dragon story. So I don't know how many years ago this was now. I'm going to say 6 or 7 years ago. I was speaking with a business client, and he's a nice guy, and we had a good session. We talked about the kinds of things we're talking about today, about mind and consciousness and thought, and where experience comes from, and our deeper nature and our true identity. And the next time I spoke with him, he said, "What did you do to me?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "I've been trying to stop biting my nails for 20 years. What secret hypnosis thing did you do? Because I've tried cognitive therapy, and I've tried, I forget the thing where you poke yourself every time you do something bad, behavioral operant conditioning, and I've tried hypnosis, and I've tried this, and I've tried that." And I said to him, I said, "Look, I can honestly tell you I didn't do anything because you didn't tell me you bit your nails." So, I mean, even like, I can't even claim subconsciously maybe I did some clever manipulation, but I can tell you what happened. And he said, "Okay, well, what happened?" And I said, "Imagine a world filled with terrifying, horrifying dragons, not How to Train Your Dragon dragons that are really lovely, but malevolent dragons, and that a bite from the dragon will fill your body with a poison so toxic that you'll be so uncomfortable, and you'll twist and you'll turn, and it will manifest in all sorts of, it'll start manifest. You'll become ugly and inside and out, and your insides will become twisted, and even a scratch from the dragon can infect you." Now, in a world like that, the most important skills that you would learn would be the skills of fighting and defending yourself from dragons. And so in that world, some people, now this is another way of talking about the many games of life. Some people would try and defend themselves from the dragon by playing the hog in a trough game, by trying to accumulate so much money that the castle walls of money would keep out the dragons. Other people might play the cock in a dunghill game, the king of the mountain, and they might try and get so famous to be loved a little by so many people that the dragon couldn't possibly get into their castle. Other people might play the Moloch game, the game of power, and try and rule over others with an iron fist and be so powerful and build the walls of their castle out of that power so that the dragon couldn't get inside. Some would play the love game and try and surround themselves, be so loved by one person or so loved by their family, the householder game, that would be their castle walls that would protect them from the dragons. Some would play the science game, some the art game, some the religion game, but all would be played in an attempt to stay safe from the dragons. Now imagine that you were unsuccessful, because most people lose games. That's the nature of games, right? It's what makes games fun, is that you can lose as well as win. Otherwise, it's not much of a game. Well, people who see that they're never going to win the wealth game, the fame game, the glory game, the power game, the love game, or they think they never will. Well, they have to learn instead, how do I deal with the dragon bites? How do I deal with the dragon scratches? And they deal with it by biting their nails. They deal with it by overeating and then throwing up, or by starving themselves. They deal with it by injecting their body with drugs. They deal with it by storing drugs into their body. They deal with it by giving themselves orgasms and physical connection with anyone who doesn't hit them or does hit them. They do that in whatever way they know how. Now imagine that one day you wake up and you can see insightfully, not as a theory, but you see for yourself that there are no dragons. That what looks like the shadow of a dragon on the wall is really just the shadow of a thought. And you see all around you people running from the dragons, screaming in agony from the imagined dragon bites, building their castles to protect themselves from the dragons, and sitting inside them in worlds that get smaller and smaller and smaller in order to try and feel safer and safer and safer. Well, what would you do? Well, if you were building a castle, whatever you were building it out of, you might carry on building the castle because you like castles, but you wouldn't build it with that same kind of desperation that you had been building it before. You wouldn't be building it anymore to keep out the dragons. You'd be building it because castles are cool. If you weren't in the castle building game, you would start to see that what felt like poison inside you, what felt like dragon poison, was actually just your own unrecognized thought. And you'd start to see that, boy, this changes. This comes and it goes. This is a transient energy. This isn't a constant. This is just shadows on the wall. Some shadows are scary, some look fun, but it's just shadows on a wall. There's no there. And when you no longer had the poison in you, you would no longer feel the need to engage in whatever behavior you'd been engaging in to mitigate the poison. When you don't drink the poison, you don't need the antidote. When you're not in a scary, mysterious discomfort that you don't know is going to go away in 5 minutes when your thinking changes, after you've had a nap, after you've eaten something, after you've gone for a walk, 10 minutes further into your work when you're just not paying attention to it anymore. Well, the behaviors will just fall away by themselves. And you'd come to see your fellow human beings and their suffering and all the frenzied activity that they're engaging in to protect themselves from and cope with imaginary dragons. And you would probably feel an incredible compassion for them. And you would probably be drawn in whatever small way it occurred to you to do whatever you knew to do to help them wake up to the fact that there are no dragons. And that's the dragon story.
Okay. So what happens is when you see that all the problems are created by your thoughts, then it's cured, or the solution is found. Okay. But what I'll do now is I'll recap all our past episodes since it's episode 10 to relate to today's episode. Okay. For those of you who wants to listen or watch the earlier episodes, you can go to YouTube. On the search in YouTube, you type my name, Nyaninda, or Buddhist Missionary Society, Malaysia. You will be able to get the past episodes. So we'll start with episode 1, Thought the Missing Link. And this is the one cause. Okay. In Dhammapada verse 1 and 2, we have this Mano Pubangama Dhamma, Mano Seta, Mano Maya. Probably you will know the word Maya is also a Malay word as in illusion. Okay, so thought is usually translated, one of the translations is thought is the forerunner of all our experiences. Thought is the chief. All are created by thoughts. Basically, thought is the illusory creator. So we never realize or notice that we actually are not experiencing the world. We are experiencing our thinking about the world. To me, this is very important. If you can really see this, your life will change. Yeah, because you will not blame the world out there for any of your problems, because all problems comes from your thinking of the world. When you're angry, it's because you have angry thoughts, not the person or thing out there that makes you angry. When you are sad, it's because you are thinking sad thoughts. No person, thing, or situation that make you sad. Okay, so we think all our emotions, all our problems come from outside. We blame our problems on the people, situation outside, but we didn't notice there's an important missing link, which is the thoughts. When you see the missing link, the thoughts, you will see the one cause of all your problems that is getting lost in thoughts. Thoughts create the whole world that we're experiencing. And there is a quantum physicist, David Bohm, that says that thoughts created the world and say, I didn't do it. So that's the difficulty. You might not be able to see it because thoughts is part of you that created it, the illusion. But when you can see that all your emotions come from your thoughts, you don't have to be afraid of your emotions and experience anymore. You don't need to have what this Michael Neal says, you don't need to have emoji phobia. Yeah. So if and people were just to learn not to be afraid of the emotions, that alone will change their life. We are quite often very afraid about emotions. We are afraid about anger, our sadness, and all that. But if you can see all our emotions are an indicator of our thoughts going at the wrong place as a friendly helper, then you don't have to be afraid of the emotions anymore. Okay. Then episode 2, we talk about natural well-being. This is the one cure. Just now taught the missing link is the one cause. Okay. In Anguttara Nikaya Book 1, verses 49 and 50, it says, Pabasara mitam bhikkhave chitam, tanjako akantu kehi upakilesehi upakiletanti ti. Luminous monks is the mind, and it is defiled by incoming or guest defilements. So there is always this natural calm, peace, and love in all of us. This luminous mind is what I call the natural calm and peace. This natural okayness in us. It's like the sky, this natural okayness, which is always there, no matter how much stormy clouds we have, stormy emotions, stormy thoughts we have. All we got to do is pay attention or pay attention to this awareness, which is always at the background, instead of the thoughts or the experience. And this awareness is always calm and peaceful. So this is the one cure. One way for us to do that is not to identify ourselves with the thoughts. We are not the thoughts. Okay. Our thoughts and emotions are like I always say it's like the waves on the surface of the ocean. Awareness is like the water in the bottom of the ocean, which is always calm and peaceful. And what most of us human, including myself, make the mistake of trying to change all our experience to be peaceful all our time. So when you are in low moods, we become judgmental. We don't like our low moods, and we think we have failed, and we try to change it to good mood. But we forget that it's not a problem whether you have good or bad moods, because there is always this natural peace and calm, this natural okayness, this awareness at the back. So actually, the problem is not the low mood. The problem is us having problem with the low mood. Our judgment about the low mood, our judgment about the emotion. So if you just, in that episode it's mentioned, if you just wave with the moods, none of the mood is a problem. So calm mind is not freedom from the storm, but peace in the storm. I repeat, calm mind is not freedom from storm, but peace in the storm. This is very important. It will also change the way we look at the world. Episode 3, compassion, and compassion is the path to the one cure. Compassion is basically, to me, is totally being present with someone, with yourself also, including other person or yourself. By being totally present, we are more sensitive and aware of our innate wisdom, love, and peace, which is the one cure to all our problems. If we can just, sometimes it's called deep listening, including to yourself, not just to other people. When you can just be with yourself or be with other people without any extra judgment or thinking or wanting to do this or that. Just be, you would be able to get into this natural calm and peace, which will have this innate wisdom, and you will know what best to do. So this is a natural cure for all our problems. Episode 4, what are we? In Majjhima Nikaya Sutta 28, Mahahatipadopama Sutta, is saying, Yo paticca samuppadam passati, so dhammam passati. Yo dhammam passati, so paticca samudhammam passati. One who sees dependent origination sees the Dhamma. One who sees Dhamma sees dependent origination. So basically, Buddhism is very big on dependent origination. It's the core of Buddhism. Basically, you can say that the world arises. When the world arises, you exist. When you arises, the world exists, the world arises. So there is dependent origination. There's no independent you, there's no independent world. Everything is dependent. So it's like the metaphor of each of us is like a light bulb, and there's limitless, formless energy like electricity flowing through all the light bulbs, linking all of us through specific conditionalities, the wiring. So there is specific conditionalities linking all of us to one consciousness that flow through all. But this consciousness is not one independent thing. It's formed from all the different components, dependently arise, depending on all the components that form it. So if you want to find the answer, what are we? You have to look at the direction before your thoughts, to the formless. I call it the space within which all the thoughts arise, or the silence from which the thoughts arise. Yeah, it's like the book, you see the words, there is the blank page where the words are on. So similarly, our thoughts come from this quietness, this space. If you go to this space, if you look at this direction, you will be able to feel that formless part of you, the awareness part of you. And this is the space and time before we form the self-identity. You can try to look at space between thoughts also. They also is similar. Okay, the space from where the thoughts come, or space between thoughts. This you will find also, I would call the one cure. And this space also is between all our feelings and thoughts. You can find all your answers in this space. And over time, when you keep trusting yourself, having more confidence in this space where the formless before thoughts come out, you will be able to access it more and more. Whenever you feel not right, you can always go back to this space, and it's one cure for all your problems. You might have a question, how can I be in this space when I'm in a very stressful situation, when I'm very lost? So my answer is, how can you be in the field of gravity when you're in a very stressful situation? Gravity is always there, whether you're stressful or not. This calm and peace is always at the background, whether you are stressful or not. So it doesn't matter whether you're stressful or not. The peace and calm, the natural okayness is always there. Episode 5, mental weight. You cannot feel fear without scaring yourself. You cannot feel stressful without stressing yourself. You cannot feel anxiety without having anxious thought. You cannot feel angry without thinking angry thoughts. So basically, what we are afraid of is what we think we are afraid of, our thinking. In other words, we are afraid of our scary thinking. So all our mental weight has one cause. Again, back to this one cause, getting lost in thoughts. If you can see that it's not a good idea to scare yourself, you will not scare yourself anymore, because all your fear comes from your thoughts. And you don't have to stop the thoughts. If you can see that you yourself is scaring yourself, then you will not scare yourself anymore. I always use the analogy, if you can see that you are slapping yourself, You don't need to find out the method how to stop slapping yourself. You just have to stop slapping yourself. Okay, if you can see that's not a good idea to make yourself angry, you will not continue to make yourself angry. So the cure to me is the insight, the wisdom. So wisdom, insight is very important in Buddhism. That's the first part of the Noble Eightfold Path, starting with right view and right intention, the wisdom part. So for mental weight loss, there's three steps which I mentioned in that episode. See that your mental weights come from your thought and not from people, situation, things outside. This is very important to see where your problems come from. See that you are not built for mental weight. Mental weight is not good for us. A lot of the people think that stress is very good for them. No, it's not. We can do things better without stress. Have the intention that you don't want to live with the mental weight. This also will help if you have the intention, the direction. Episode 6, we live life according to our thinking. In Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the ending of the description of the 5 aggregates is Sankittena Paccupadana Khanda Dukkha. In short, the 5 processes that make us up, the 5 aggregates, are the dukkha, that causes unsatisfactoriness in our life. So it's the process that make us up, these 5 process: body, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness, that create all our, basically our suffering or unsatisfactoriness in life. So we do things the best we can, given the thinking that we have. Okay, if we think everyone is out there to get us, then we will be very, untrusting, not trusting anyone at all. So we function according to how we see things. If you see life, how life works differently, all our habit patterns will change too. There's no need effort to change, because naturally we will always take the better way. If you think that we can control our circumstances, we can control the people out there, we can control our husband, wife, kids, we will try harder and harder to control situation, people, things that we face. But we never try to control the weather, because we know we can't control the weather. If you know that all situations and things out there are like the weather, beyond your control, then the way you look at things, the way you do things will be different. So do we know that we have absolute no control over most of our circumstances? We have no control over what our boss will say to us, no control what our husbands, wives, kids will say to us, no full control even on our body, whether we will get sick or not. But we can do the best we can to make sure that our body is well, that people treat us nicely and so on, but we have no control over them. But we can choose how we respond to situation and things, to people, and not just simply react. This we have control. Episode 7, pain is unavoidable, suffering is always optional. This is one of my favorite episodes, because if you can just remember this title, it will save you a lot of problems in life. Human suffering is less to do with what we are experiencing actually, than what meaning we add to the experience. Thinking questions like, what is wrong with me? Why does this happen to me? Will this last forever? All these are the one cause, the interpretation of our experience. This is the cause of problems. We may be facing difficulties, pain, but we don't have to suffer the pain. Suffering is caused by our resisting or fighting against what is already there. It's a sign of unwillingness to flow along with life. But I'm not asking you to resign to things. I'm asking you to be with things. It's like, if it rains, it's no point crying over the rain. We can make use of the rain. Maybe, helps to water your garden. So make use of whatever that's there. An example of suffering is spending hours and hours thinking about how we should have sold our stocks before the stock market collapse, or worrying that we might get sick before an upcoming event, or worrying about our interviews or exams. All this does not help. There's nothing wrong with planning ahead or try to prevent problems, but we often get stuck regretting the past and worrying about too many things in the future. We try to think very far ahead. It doesn't help because things keep changing. You can think extremely far ahead, but can you foresee the COVID-19 pandemic? You can't. Things keep changing. So it's no point to carry this unnecessary burden of the past and worry of the future with you. Yeah, when one of the episodes, when I show that the comic of the person carrying the past burden and worries, someone says, Bhante, that's me, in life, carrying all this worry with me. So we don't have to do that. Episode 8, thoughts create our world. We think we live in the world, but actually the world is in us. Now, try to think of Malaysia. Malaysia is in your consciousness, in your awareness. Try to think of the whole world. The whole world is in your mind. So actually, the world is in you. You are not in the world. In this episode, I go into a bit detail on the dependent origination paticca samuppada formula of the 12 links. But the key thing about this is it's a formula about how we change our moment-to-moment daily impersonal experience to personal existence. I will simplify now to explain to you. It's like this pen, when you're seeing it, it's just light shining on this pen reflected into your eye. There's an image of the pen in your retina, and then you add the interpretation, oh, this pen, I bought it somewhere and I love this pen, and so on. So it comes from just a process of light going into your eyes, into your retina, and some processing in your brain become, I see this pen. See, beginning, there's no duality. It's just a process. Now it becomes a process of impersonal experience, become a personal existence of I seeing this pen. It's the same when you might be seeing your husband, wife, daughters, and so on, or sons. It's just a process of seeing, but it becomes I seeing my son, my husband, my wife, and so on. So this is how we change daily impersonal experience to personal existence, and then where attachment comes. And it's changed through our interpretations, our thoughts. So again, it's our creative force of the thoughts. This is again the one cause. But it's not a problem. Don't blame the thoughts. It's a very powerful creative tool if you use it properly. Episode 9, infinite potentials, infinite possibilities. It's very important when we are okay with not knowing, then we are not limited by our knowing, because what we know is actually very limited. What each and every one of us know is extremely limited, but we think we know a lot. So when we are okay with not knowing, then you have infinite possibilities to come up through us in the form of intuition. When you're not lost in the thoughts of the little I, then great intuitions that come through the interconnection of all consciousness will come through you as intuition. And this is also where you can find one cure for all problems. And this is also my advice in facing all problems, including parenting. If you would try to get yourself quiet and touch base with this peace and quiet calmness that's already in you, your natural wisdom will tell you what best to say or not to say, to do or not to do. So this is very important. You have infinite potential, infinite possibilities if you know how to tap to it. Okay, next. Episode 10 now. Okay. So all our problems in life have only one cause, which is getting lost in our thoughts, like what I mentioned, or becoming servant to our thoughts. Hence, we only need one cure, which is not let the thoughts drive our life. When we can tell that our problems means our pain and so on come from our thoughts, then we are really good at not doing any more thinking. So actually, the important thing is seeing. If you can really see, you don't have to make effort, don't have to view yourself, don't have to force yourself. And I don't believe in forcing. It doesn't work. It only works temporarily. When you can see it, you will change. It is when we get confused about the cause and source of our problems or pain, then we get confused about the cure or solution. We feel thought, and thought is an ever-changing energy. If you don't pay much attention to your thoughts, you are not driven by thoughts as your servant. If you don't pay attention to your thoughts, wisdom will arise to you as intuition to solve whatever problems you need to solve. So important is to see that your world is created by your thoughts. Okay. Now, a few weeks ago, someone in one of my sharing, someone has this question. Basically, this person has a meltdown. So this lady was saying, my husband dumped me, my children are not obedient, I lost my jobs and I'm not feeling well, my health is terrible, what should I do? Hopefully, none of us are in this situation. But if you ever have a meltdown, which is quite common for us, sometimes we get very frustrated, we are very lost. First thing to do is don't judge yourself. We are human. Once in a while, we get meltdown. Okay. Next, notice that we are feeling terrible and see that we are feeling terrible because of the thinking. You're going to see the cause. Okay. Not because of my husband dumped me, my children not obedient, and so on. It's because of this thinking. So first thing, you got to not judge yourself. Next is notice that you're feeling terrible. Next, see that you're feeling terrible because of the thinking. Then you might say, but Bhante, I can't stop the thinking. Try to see who is creating the thoughts. Don't try to stop the thoughts. It's like try to see who is slapping you. When you saw that you are slapping yourself, you don't need to stop. You need to know how to stop your slapping yourself. Okay, so basically the step is aware, relax, release, leave the thinking alone. Do not allow yourself to be pulled into these servants of thoughts. There's no need to suppress the thoughts, no need to fight the thoughts, but no need also to continue with these thoughts. Stop, pause, change your direction. If you can't, look at the trees. This is what I advise this lady. Look at the trees, listen to the birds, look at the skies. You will shift your attention. When you're not down and out, when you are down and out, you can't solve any problems. When you're not down and out, after you wait until the thoughts change, your emotions will change, then you'll become more hopeful, then you'll be able to deal with the situations better. So I'm not saying that don't deal with the situations, whatever situations you're in, family, finances. I'm saying that try to solve your mind first before you deal with the circumstances. A clear, peaceful mind will come up with much better solution than a mind that is totally lost in the thoughts. So I will give you two examples, which I have given before, but I like these two examples. So I will share again. One is one time when I was giving a guided meditation through Zoom. There was a lady who I can see through the Zoom. She was having very peaceful meditation, and then suddenly her daughter came to disturb, and she got very upset. And later on, she says that actually she got more upset when she think that before that she had advised the son to take care of the daughter to make sure that the daughter don't come and disturb. So when she think of that, she get more upset. But then she remember, don't get lost in the thoughts, don't continue with the thoughts, just stay with the meditation object. Then she calmed down. When she calmed down, to a peaceful state of mind, that frequency will radiate out. The children very easy to feel that this peace and calm. Her daughter calmed down and stopped disturbing her and left her alone, and she can continue her meditation. So when we calm our mind down, when we go back to our peace, natural peace and calm, we will affect people around us. You might not even need to do anything. Another example is another transformation coach, Deacon Bettinger, and his wife. One time, the son was critically injured, seriously injured in ICU. Then when they were visiting him, sitting on the side, suddenly they saw the vital sign going haywire, and he panicked at first. But then he remembered that it doesn't help to get panicked, to lost in your thoughts. So he come back to his awareness, this natural peace and calm that's always in us. And his wife did the same. When his wife came back to the natural peace and awareness, the wife suddenly started singing. The wife is a singer, she likes singing. Started singing to the son. And when the wife started singing to the son, the vital signs become very stable. And the husband pointed to the wife, can you see that? When she stopped singing, the vital sign becomes erratic again. So both of them, after that, continue singing for quite some time for the son. Because when we are in a calm, peaceful mode, we change the frequency in the room. So sometimes we might not need to do much. We just need to get back to this calm, peace, awareness that's always within us. Okay. Whether something is defined as a problem or not, it's based on our thoughts. Some circumstances might be a problem for you, but to another person, it's not. They're very happy with that situation. Same circumstances, yeah, problem for you. Same person can be problem for you, but might not be a problem for another person. Okay. Also, in terms of children problem, you have a problem because you think your children is not behaving according to the way you want them to be. But each human has their innate wisdom to do the best thing for themselves. Your best for that person might not be the best that is needed for that person, for your kid. Okay, so what you need to do is not lecture the other person, especially kids. You need to guide them to the innate wisdom. Basically, be there for them. When you, your own self, stay in this peace, calm, innate wisdom, your children or people around you will be able to reawaken to this innate wisdom in them because they resonate with you. So it doesn't help if you lecture, especially in this modern world. No one wants to hear like boring, nagging lectures. Now, I'll go to some of the problems and to show you that it's basically we created the problems. Now, one of the biggest problems most people will have is money problem. You think you don't have enough money in this world, but what is enough? Okay. Again, back to this, just now that transformation coach, Michael Neal, he said one time he has this target. This is before he learned about we live in our thoughts, we don't live in the world. He has this target that if he make 5 million, then he feel that he will be secure. It's enough. He will have a financial security. Until he met a guy who he called $600 million man because he owns $600 million. And he basically tell the guy, wow, I'm amazed. I think you are financially secure. And this guy looked at him and say, no, I'm very worried that I will lose all my money. So suddenly his idea of security suddenly crashed. It's like, if this guy $600 million is also doesn't feel insecure, that means no matter how much, it's not the amount that matters, that makes us feel secure. We think that certain amount will make us secure. It's not. And so we have done on kids, what is big amount and small amount, it varies. So they have done survey that for private boarding school upper class, I can't remember the exact amount, but it's something like to them hundreds of dollars to millions is the lower and the minimum, the lower and the minimum and maximum. Little money and a lot of money, hundreds of dollars and millions of dollars. But they try survey on poor kids, it's like cents, how much cents is the lower minimum, and thousands of dollars is the maximum. So it varies depending on people. So it's very subjective. The problem that we think is a problem is very subjective. To give more illustration, recently, not too long ago, when I was out walking, I met a businessman whom I've not seen for some time. And I asked him how is he, and he says, wow, very bad. I say, why? He said, because he had a bad knee, has a knee operation. But I asked him, do you have pain now? He says, no, it's okay. Can you walk properly? Yes, but what's the problem? So we get lost in our thinking about the past. Maybe he was in pain before, but now he's walking properly and no pain. And then I asked him, how is business? He said, oh, very bad. Terrible, economy is very bad. Maybe I need my wife to set up a hawker store to sell noodles to support myself. And I was sympathizing with him for a while until I stepped back and think, because 5 minutes before that, he was telling me that he was supporting his son who is studying medicine in UK. And that's millions of dollars to study medicine in UK. And his daughter just finished graduating in dentistry overseas also, and that's another millions of dollars. And the daughter is working in his business, which means that the business can hire a graduate to work there, means it's doing reasonably okay. And his house is not a small house. So our problems, it's again, I say it in the thoughts. Again, another example, some time back in the past, I was staying in a friend's house, temporary, and there was some problem with the electrical wiring. So I told the owner, you have to fix the electrical wiring. And the owner looked at me and said, Bhante, times are really bad. Times are difficult. I was sympathizing with him for a while until I stepped back. And then I remember a week before, I happened to overheard a conversation between his wife and some friends. His wife was saying asking the friends to admire the 10,000 US dollar rings that she's wearing. And now he's saying times are bad. So our times are bad are very subjective. Now you might say, Bhante, yes, money is very subjective, but health problem is very, it's very objective, it's very different. But health problem comes because you think you should be healthy all the time. And when you're not healthy, you think something is wrong. But when we have a disease, it's not a problem. The disease is a disease in the body to indicate that you need to take care of your body. That's all. If you see it as an indicator, that's not a problem. And different person can face the same so-called disease and they can react differently also. So that disease itself, it's not a problem. So an example I want to share with you is, I had an uncle, I think I've shared this before also. I have an uncle who has glaucoma. One of his eyes can't see clearly, almost blind. So I haven't met him for some time. So when I met him, I was asking, how is he? And he looks better, which is good. Only thing is he was complaining that because one of his eyes can't see, so his judgment is out. When you want to pour water, he can't pour properly. And when he's driving, he gets scratches in his car, and it's really irritating. And I can feel if one of my eyes can't see properly, I would have a lot of irritation and unhappiness and so on. Until I stepped back and realized that my dad had glaucoma for like 5-6 years. He never complained. And when I mentioned during that gathering, I say, my dad he can't see with one eye. He's been driving around, and before pandemic, he's partying like anything. We always say my dad is the youngest person in my family because he's always out with different functions. And he's driving all over interstate and all that. He never complained about his eye. In fact, one of my relatives was shocked when I mentioned this. When did he, have this problem with the eyes? None of us know. So our response to what happened to us is what causes suffering. It's not what happened to us. But then you might say, yeah, this is just health problem. But what about body pain? Body pain, you would say, that is real. But I would say yes, but body pain is only a problem when the thoughts resist the pain. And I have shared many times about these few stories. The first story is about Ajahn Brahms and his toothache, where he's in the forest. He had very painful toothache, because toothache can be very painful, and don't have any solution because he's in the forest. Finally, walk also cannot, sit also cannot. You just tell the toothache, the pain, I will let you be my friends forever until I die, 10 years, 20 years, never mind. I accept you. And after a while, the pain just disappeared. If you are able not to fight, not to resist, somehow the pain doesn't affect us anymore. Same, I had twice. Once I had shingles, very painful, and I did the same, just tell myself, let the pain be and accept it. Then it disappeared after half an hour, 1 hour. And similarly with my frozen shoulders. Okay. But I'm not asking you, when I shared this last time, someone say, Bhante, does it mean that I don't need to go and see a doctor? No, go ahead and seek treatment. But while waiting for the treatment to be effective, you can do this, not fight the pain. But you have to really accept it for this to really work. Yeah, because Ajahn Brahm say when he shared this with his devotees, the next session, one devotee came and said, Ajahn Brahm, I tried this, when I had pain in my hand, I tell the pain, I will, you can be with me for 10 years, 20 years, no problem, I allow it to be. But how come after half an hour it's still there? Because you want to get rid of the pain, then it doesn't work. You have to be really sincere to allow the pain to be friend with the pain. Okay, next, you might say, but Bhante, I can't stop my thinking. I have this obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay, this one I want to share with you. Again, this is a story from, I get quite a number of stories from this transformative coach, Michael Neal. So anyway, he was sharing that there's this lady who has this obsessive compulsive disorder, who have to check the doors, ovens, stoves, irons every 20 minutes before leaving. And if you go on vacation, she has to check more. So basically, she's late for everything because she has to double check, triple check, check 4 times. There are people like this. Myself, sometimes also I have to double check, if I'm not aware. So he went to see this coach or counselor. And so the coach counselor asked him, what do you want to do? She says, I want to stop the behavior. So the coach asked her, why did you do it? Why do you double and triple check? So at first she gives all sorts of answers like, I'm sick, it's all the psychological reasons. But finally she says, I don't want to kill my neighbor. So it's a positive intention. It makes perfect sense if you have an intention to not kill your neighbor. So it's nothing wrong to check 3 times, 4 times because you don't want to kill your neighbor. What we think is a problem is actually an attempt to solve another problem. It is her best attempt to care for them to other people. So this double, triple checking, the obsessive compulsive disorder for this lady, which is called a problem, is actually a solution to accidentally destroying the neighbor's home. As long as she thinks that she's saving the neighbor, she will continue to check. And it's very cruel to stop her to check because she has good intention. So to force people to change their habit is taking away their thought-created solution. And in a sense, it's cruel because you are taking away their solution to another problem. What she has to do is to see or experience that without her checking, she will not destroy the neighbor's home. So there are many ways she can do it. One of the ways is wait before checking, or any other way to see that her thoughts, key thing is to see her thoughts are not real. And instead of judging herself the next time she double check or triple check, she had to be fully aware that she's checking. She can wait, check, and then after that, when she's checking, also fully aware that she's checking until that she sees it's not necessary. But once in a while, she might get lost in the thoughts again and check, but it's okay. Because once in a while, we forget. Okay, by the way, this lady got cured. This is a real story. Get cured doesn't mean once in a while she doesn't go back to her house and still check, but it doesn't, she don't have to do it every single time. Okay, then you might say, no, but this thinking has been my habits for 10 years, Bhante, I can't change. So I want to share this metaphor with you. If you have been driving to work for 10 years using a road that takes 1 hour to your office with a lot of traffic jam, and suddenly I show you a shortcut that takes half an hour and no traffic, do you need a lot of time to change? You take no time. You won't say, Bhante, it's my habit, you know, that I always drive the long road, so I can't change. No, you will immediately change. But sometimes you forget, you will take the long road, but that's okay. But it doesn't mean that it will take a long time for you to change to use the shortcut. When something doesn't look real or good, it doesn't take time or effort to change. When you still think that the behavior or habit is a good idea, very difficult to change. So you got to see that that behavior or habit is not helpful to you. Okay. Now I want to move to a very difficult habit called addiction. Okay. So similarly, if people with addiction can solve their addiction by changing the way they are changing their thinking, I'm sure you can solve all your habits, because addiction is maybe the most difficult habits. So people who take alcohol and drugs, they don't take alcohol and drugs to kill themselves. Okay, why they take alcohol and drugs is they have this positive intention to calm themselves down. Their mind is just too much thinking, too lost. They can't find themselves, so they need this medicine, which is drug and alcohol, to calm themselves. So it's a positive solution because they're not being able to be themselves or face the world. So all our habits, including addiction, is an antidote to something that we can't do or we don't like. It is our best attempts to take care of ourselves. If you don't want to feel bad, and the only way you know is to drink alcohol or take drugs, then you will drink alcohol and take drugs. But if you can stop having the bad feeling, which is the poison, then you don't need the antidote anymore, which is drinking alcohol or taking drugs or smoking. So the best way to help an alcoholic or drug addicts is not how to recover from addiction, but how to recover back their innate mental health, to get back in touch with their love, calm, peace, aliveness that's already in them, which is a much better relief than what they get from drugs and alcohol or food addiction. If you can show them something is better, then they will leave the addiction. So example, friend of my brother, who is a smoker for a long time, decades, he tried to change his habits many times, but failed. A few years ago, maybe 3-4 years before the pandemic, he was suddenly interested in meditation. He wanted to find peace, which is why he smoked. Yeah, the reason he smoked is because he wanted to find peace. Actually, cigarettes taste terrible. I am not smoked before, but I know it tastes terrible from the smell. Similarly, alcohol tastes terrible. People don't drink because of the taste. It's because they want to calm themselves down. I remember when I first studied in Australia, when first time going on a plane, I know alcohol is free on a plane. I tried every single alcohol in the menu. All of them taste terrible. I was very adventurous, want to know why people are so interested in alcohol. I tried every single on the menu until the steward and stewardess was very fed up of me, but I realized that all taste terrible. So anyway, my brother introduced this friend of his who's a smoker, really big smoker, to Goenka 10 days meditation retreat. And they are very strict. When he applied, they told him strictly no smoking. Okay, he thought it would be very difficult for him to survive. Suddenly no smoking. But however, as the retreat progressed, he found so much peace and calm that totally changed his life, that he don't need to smoke anymore. The reason he smoked is to find the peace and calm. Now he found the peace and calm. He don't need to smoke anymore, and he's never smoked since then. So he found a better solution than smoking to his problem. His life is much better because he don't have to get rid, he don't have to get away from his non-smoking friends when they are in discussions to smoke. Okay, so when you find a better solution, you will drop these addictions or this habit. We are actually very wise. We want to find the best way. Okay, another example. This example is of a schizophrenic kid. Schizophrenia, basically they have different personality. So this kid somehow he keeps seeing his parents got burned, and he keeps shouting and he's in agony because he keeps seeing his parents get burned. And the psychiatrists that he go to somehow share with what I share with you today, that we have natural innate health, and then these thoughts creates our stories. So after a few sessions, in the middle of a session, he suddenly screamed and say he saw his parents on fire. And the psychiatrist calmly asked him, how come I didn't see it? And immediately this boy suddenly realized something, and he says, I don't know. But he realized that what he see might not be real because other people didn't see it. And that was the last time he suffered his hallucination. Not the last time he saw his parents burn. He still had this hallucination, but he just don't believe it is the reality anymore. So how not to pay attention to thoughts, to all these creative illusion done by us? Again, many times I've shared, it's like noisy aircon or fan. When you got into a room, there's a very noisy aircon or fan. If you ignore it, after a while, it doesn't disturb you anymore. So same principle. If you don't pay attention to your thoughts, after a while, it doesn't disturb you anymore. Your awareness is like the sky. The thoughts are like clouds. No matter how many clouds, what shape of clouds that come, dragons, monsters, dogs, ghosts, and all that, the sky can embrace all of them. Whether it's dark, stormy night with lots of clouds, the sky is still around. The sky is your awareness, that peace and calm at the back. So, but another way that helps sometimes is, like what I shared yesterday, is to change your needs. If you don't have too much needs, then you are not so stressful. But not have a lot of needs doesn't mean that you cannot strive to have things. Yeah, you can have very little needs, but you can aim very high. But if you don't get it, it's okay, because what you need is very little. So last thing I want to share is about neuroplasticity. This is a very big thing in neuroscience now, that last time we thought if someone, when they grow older, the brain already wired a certain way, it cannot change the person. But not true now. They found that until the day you die, your wiring in your brain can still keep changing. It's called neuroplasticity, as in it can rewire another way. You can train yourself to be not disturbed by the thoughts or the voice in your head. How you train, it's like you can train dogs. If you block the doors to the dog, to the door to your bedroom, you don't want your dogs to come in, you just put a furniture so that it doesn't come in, it push and can't get in. After a while, it won't even push because it's been trained that this door cannot open. So similarly, we can train our mind. The easiest way is to find, if you get something better, like the addiction, if you find peace of mind through meditation, or just know that the peace is already there, then you don't need the smoke, the cigarette, the alcohol, and the drugs for your peace of mind. Okay, I'll end with a story that I used to tell about what we think is good or bad is an illusion. This story is about maybe one day you strike, lucky draw, whatever, you get two plane tickets to fly, not now, pandemic, you can't, maybe after pandemic, 2 tickets to fly to US for a concert, and you're very happy. And then you go on the day you go to the airport, suddenly huge traffic jams. So you felt that today very bad luck, things are bad. big problem. But somehow you manage to go through all the traffic and reach on time. Suddenly your idea changed. Oh, I'm really lucky today. But somehow when after you check in and all that, or you're about to check in, you realize that you had stomach ache. So you went to the toilet and you felt, today really unlucky. And then you get stuck in the toilet some more. You can't get out. Somehow the toilet door locked and you can't get out. And by the time you get out, you saw the plane taking off. And you say, really, really unlucky. But halfway you saw the plane, boom, exploded. Then you think you're really lucky. So again, whether we are having a good day or a bad day, or it's actually just our thoughts. Because in the end of the day, we don't know until we reach the end of our life, because we don't know whether that was a bad moment or a good moment. So again, if we can really see that all our thinking, all our experience, all our emotions come from the creative force of our thinking, it would solve a lot of our problems. Okay, we'll stop here. Questions and answers.
Yes, brothers and sisters, we are in our Q&A session, so feel free to raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you can type it in the chat box.
Any questions in the chat box already? No.
So far, not yet.
Anyone has any questions, they can unmute and ask. If anyone know if it's Suk from US around.
Hello, good evening, Bhante. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I will answer some of your questions. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm traveling right now on the road, so I couldn't on my video. Yeah,
okay,
but I'm listening. Thank you.
No problem. Your first question, there's something missing, so I'll leave it first. Your second question, when we said everyone has different perspective in life based on our experiences or exploration, is perspective still one type of thinking? Yes, perspective, our belief, our perspective, our opinion is a type of thinking. Somehow, maybe ultimate reality cannot be explained in words. Yes, ultimate reality cannot be explained in words. It's like trying to explain ultimate reality in words is like all of us are, the metaphor is like all of us are blind. And we try to explain to each other what colors are like. Impossible. Okay. Or another metaphor is like all of us are in a dream. And we can only use dream language to describe what awakening is. We will never find the correct words, but we can experience it. So this is the second question. The third question, when we try our best to have a wholesome behavior as a role model to our teenagers, love them unconditionally or without judgment, at least I try my best to do that. Sometimes they think it is nagging or giving Dharma lectures in their perspective and hard to understand why they are not open. I have difficulty to understand why they're not open-minded to accept or listen deeply. Okay, is this due to their past karma? Is keeping quiet or be patient in this case more appropriate? It is so hard to see people you love have no wisdom and keep suffering due to their wrong view. I'm trying to not to be attached to the self view, but after all the kindness and compassion that I give out, it can be frustrated at times, and that time and happiness cannot feel real if we try to let it be. Please advise. Basically, she's frustrated that the teenagers don't listen. Okay, but my answer is, number one, in this modern generation, no one wants to listen to long lectures from others, especially from the parents. They don't want to listen to Dharma lectures and all that. And we cannot change others just like we cannot change the weather. But if we change ourselves, we will inspire others to change. And also, while you are asking why my teenagers, my children, are not open-minded to accept and listen deeply, I think they're asking the same question. Why my parents cannot be open-minded and listen to me deeply? So someone has to start. So I guess the parents have to start to be open-minded and listen deeply first. And there's no fixed answer on what best to do. You know, it depends on situation and it changes all the time. So there's no fixed prescription that you should not do anything or do something. But there's a useful suggestion on what mindset you can have. If you have an open-minded mindset, listen deeply first to the other person, in this case, your teenage children, before you say anything, that's very helpful. And also, if you trust that your children have innate wisdom.
Is it beautiful?
Sorry? Oh, okay. If you trust that your children have innate wisdom, if you stay in your natural peace and love, you will resonate in your innate wisdom. When you are in your innate wisdom, you will know best what to say, what not to say, what to do, and what not to do. And your children will slowly be able to awaken to their innate wisdom and love. So work on the cause, not the result. You can only control the cause and not the result. As you stay more and more in the feeling of peace and love, you will definitely see the result, because no matter what happens, you are already in the peace and love. So anything you want to say before I move on regarding these two questions and answer?
Sadhu, sadhu, Bhante. Thank you so much. I understand. I will keep practicing and exploring. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Okay, I have sent you the rest of the answers to the question. So if you have any, you can, if you have further questions, you can ask. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Bhante.
Okay. There's a question on the chat. Li Hong, how to go back to our peace inside us? How to go back? It's always there. You just don't continue with your thoughts. Your peace is always there. So the best way is using wisdom again. When you realize that it's your thoughts that get you away from your peace and wisdoms, then you won't continue with the thoughts, and the peace and calmness will be there waiting for you. I missed some question on top maybe. Question, may I ask, when can this session, okay, this one no. Further up, Alex?
There's one, there's one from Lee Yong also. Bhante, once you mentioned about one get falling but there's no ground. What's the context when Bhante make this remark?
Oh, okay. I say this when I was saying that when you realize that there is no permanent, non-changing self, you might feel that you are falling from the sky, because we are also used to holding to our identity, holding to a permanent self, holding to things. So you might be feel like you are falling, you have nothing to grasp, because you suddenly realize all concepts, all ideas, all beliefs are illusion. So you might have this feeling. But if you really check, it's not a problem, because you think it's a problem, you're falling from the sky. There's no ground for you to hit and die. Falling from the sky is really fun if there's no ground to hit and die. I tried, skydiving. It's fun. Not that I encourage people to do, because too scary. But it's fun if there's no ground to hit and die. Okay.
There's another one from Lim WW. Hi Bhante, why there is mind? Is mind means awareness?
Why is mind means awareness?
Why there is mind? So why mind exists? And also, is mind awareness? Does mind means awareness?
Why mind exists? Mind just why you asking me like why there is gravity or why there is rain? So there's no answer. It just exists. You know? Does mind mean awareness? Awareness is one part of the mind. Thought is another part of the mind. Yeah, so yes, awareness is part of the mind. Okay. Okay, now I can see the rest of it. Bhante, is it good not to hate, to create bad karma in the next life? What about to love? Will that create karma that will go back to human realm? I don't fully understand. Not good to hate. Yeah, that's yeah, always not good to hate, but you don't have to force yourself not to hate. If you can see that hating is again slapping yourself, when you hate someone, you get very angry, you are actually burning yourself. You can feel your heart burning. Love will create, what about love will create karma that will go back to human realm? Yeah, correct. That's why Buddhism is not about love or hate or whatever, but it's about going to this understanding that there's this natural, first it's about understanding there's this natural love and peace inside us. This is not the attachment type of love. It's this natural love inside us, so that you don't look for love and peace outside first. Then slowly you can go even beyond this. We got to do step by step. Maya, we are programmed to react to a situation, and sometimes it gets us into trouble or say things that hurt others, and it is too late to pull back. How do you actually pull back and do things before you react? It's tough. How do you achieve this stop button second? Increase your awareness. But sometimes you still fail. Don't blame yourself. Don't judge. Just apologize. Just say sorry. You know, that we are human. We are not robots that doesn't fail, that doesn't make mistake. Thoughts are nothing but movies projected by the mind, the projector. In what way can we unplug the projector without being brain dead? Don't have to unplug the projector, because you go to watch movie, you enjoy the movie. In fact, you pay money to go to the cinema to watch the movie, but you don't take it as real. That's okay. So there can be many drama in the life. As long as you don't take it as real, no problem. In fact, maybe you can enjoy the drama next time. Bhante, how can I reduce the pressure and stress from top management to force us, the middle management, to achieve the company unreasonable high KPI? You got to see again, the top management can say, can threaten and all that. Again, it is our thinking that, no, it's so easy to see, but you got to keep seeing that it's our thinking that stresses us. That the thinking that, wow, no, I have to get this done, otherwise the management will do this. I have to make sure this is, I meet the KPI and so on. So it's the thinking that stresses us. If you think that the KPI is impossible to reach, then you should be very relaxed, as in, it doesn't matter whatever you do, you can't reach it. So you just got to try your best, that's all. So it's only when you think you can meet, but you are not doing enough, that you give yourself pressure. But if you really can see that it's totally unreasonable, it's impossible to meet, then there's no way you can meet whatever you do. So just do whatever you can. No point stressing yourself. Bhante, what is progress awareness? The awareness? Don't know. Can't understand your question, Jack Lee. If you are around, please unmute and ask the question. If you are asking how do you know whether your awareness is getting better, well, you know because you are more aware. When you are sitting, you know you're sitting. When you are eating, you know you're eating. When you're showering, you know you're showering. You are not somewhere else in your office. When you're showering, you're not in the office or at home, and so on. Okay, anyone want to unmute and ask question? Okay, there's
there are more in the chat box.
more in the chat. Okay, those people who ask type question in the chat box.
Yeah, we encourage you all to unmute and ask the question directly to Bhante.
You can unmute. If you want, you can unmute directly, because that way I can feel where you are coming from. It might be better able to answer your questions. ML Lim or Jack Lee or Suchita or YK Liu. Okay, while you are thinking whether you want to go on the camera, don't be shy. I will answer. Okay,
Yeah, Lee Hong. Yeah.
Can you please unmute?
Bhante, good evening.
Can you please unmute, Lee Hong?
Bhante, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Who is that?
This is
Okay,
Ryan
Bhante,
Chen.
my name is
Yeah.
Ryan. I just want to ask Bhante, let's say we feel very boring and lonely, sometimes until we can feel a bit anxious, especially we driving in the car or stop in the traffic light for too long, I maybe have some stress or that. So how do we overcome? Because this is on and off sometimes.
Oh,
just recently only.
One way you can try listening to calming music.
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried?
Yes, when at home, I don't have all this feeling. I just...
Yeah, when your car, you can play calming music in your car.
Calming music, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to know what is the root cause for all this thought thinking. Is it? I also don't understand why I have this type of feeling.
It's not important. It's due to many different conditions. It could be this life when you're a child, or could be past life. But the important thing is not to pay attention to the thoughts. Then your feelings will not have a problem. If you keep entertaining the thoughts and take the thoughts as real, then the emotions will keep arising. The fastest way is to see that the thoughts are not real. It's created by you.
Because I have experienced one time as when I was driving, because my age was 40 plus, I afraid of height.
Yeah.
So one day I'm driving at night. I be a Grab car driver.
Yeah.
So I go up to the flyover. So when I go up to the flyover, I see the flyover very high, very tall. So I shake. My hand is shaking. I can feel my heart beat. From that time, I already I stopped. I put my car very slow, and I tried the passenger, my customer. That time I said, maybe my car is something wrong. I just say something. My vehicle got something wrong, so I drive very slow and put her down, and I relax that time. Since that day, I have all this feeling like driving, very scary experience.
It's from your thoughts.
From my thought.
Yeah, so you have to not entertain your thoughts. When your thoughts change, your emotion will change. So you got to somehow see that you are being carried, you are being driven by your thoughts.
Okay.
Don't entertain the thoughts.
Okay.
That's the fastest way. Other ways is calm yourself down by calming music and so on.
Yeah, because I was thinking I'm driving the time, becoming a Grab car is very stressful. Because sometimes we meet some passenger.
Yeah. We are stressful because we are thinking stressful thoughts.
Yes, correct. I feel that because now I realize slowly, this is last year. Last year happening before the MCO last year.
Yeah.
So because I was doing 2 jobs and also doing some small business, and also I drive the Grab car the time I don't know, because that day is very jam, traffic very jam, and then heavy rain.
But can you see that it's from your thoughts that it's very jam,
I know.
Is this, it's
suddenly
the thoughts, not the jam.
I go up the flyover, I really all my hands shaking. I don't know what I'm thinking, because sit behind my passenger, the ladies are from Vietnam, ladies, and then she talked to her boss, she reported to the boss I was thinking back my job last time when I was 20 plus, I doing...
Yeah, see, you're thinking back your job.
Yes.
Your thoughts.
I listened to her talk all the reporting to her boss. I really feel stressful.
Yeah, because you get into the thoughts. So you got to treat those thoughts like you treat an aircon, noisy aircon in the room.
See.
Got it?
So From since that day, I have a problem with driving already. Until now, I feel, because every day I listen to Dharma. Every morning, I listen to the Dharma talk and I listen to music, calm down myself, and I can overcome slowly. I can say now I've overcome 60 to 70% of
That's
this.
good. That's good. Give a pat on yourself.
Yeah,
Take one step at a time.
yeah. Because I since last year, I happening to myself all this event. I really anxious and feel anxiety.
Yeah.
Not even dare to drive.
Yeah, but don't judge yourself. Don't get upset with yourself. Be patient. If you say you have made 60% progress, that's big progress.
And now I'm aware that I'm thinking back is a lot of stress. We do a lot of work and think a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
During our driving time. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. So you can see that you have wisdom. You are improving. You are doing well.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
now
Irene.
Leon put up a. Okay, and maybe
Yeah.
Irene. Yeah. Irene.
With me, Bhante.
Yeah.
I have scenario like I have a feeling of fear towards to going out like this current situation pandemic, and then I have experienced that during that I can aware that my feeling is fear, but I lost my thoughts. I couldn't think at all. My mind is blank. I know that I'm fear. My heart is pumping very fast, beating very fast, and I know it's. And I knew that I'm fear. I aware the feeling, but I could not react anything. I lost my thoughts. This is one, and now I have injured my wrist. I have a wrist injury, and I'm doing everything in one hand only. So it's really typically very inconvenience for me. Now I have to think that to plan that I would like to go for a TCM treatment. So this is also related to my feeling of fear that I have delayed for treatment till today. So I would like to seek Bhante's advice. How do I react or overcome my situation?
One way that Buddha prescribed when people have fear is to recite the qualities of the Buddha and think of Buddha. So if you have a Buddha image, you can think of the Buddha or recite the 9 qualities of the Buddha, Itipiso, Bhagawa, Arahang, and so on. Or you can listen to any chanting that is that resonates with you. Some people, I don't know, for Mahayana, maybe they resonate with Mahayana chanting. For Theravada, maybe they like the Itipiso chanting or any other chanting to calm yourself down. This is one way to solve, but the best is in the end, if you can see that actually, although you say you are blank, actually your emotions come from your thoughts. You definitely are thinking, you are not aware, but you are thinking anxious, fearful thoughts at that time. So the best is if you could, not continue with that thoughts. Another way is maybe during that time, think of, wholesome thoughts, think of calm thoughts to substitute this. That's also another way.
Okay.
So there are many options you can try.
Okay, and also to related to my fear, whenever I have fear, I will always do a let's say because I knew that I will behave, I will have a blank mind and I could not think further. So when I come down, I always have a thinking that to have a pre-thinking, meaning that what if I face this and what should I do? What if I face this? What should I do? I will have this kind of thinking to think first ahead. Then I'll be very busy in my thinking thoughts. Yeah. This is what I do. I used to do. Yeah.
I don't think this helps. This makes you more stressful.
So when there is things that happened without happen in any time, then I will know what should I do. If not, I will totally blank out and I do not know how to react as time comes by.
Now, at this moment, can you feel there is peace and quietness in your heart?
Yeah.
Okay, go back to that feeling next time when you are lost. That's all. Go back to this feeling.
Okay.
Come to this feeling that's always there. This feeling is always there. So next time when you are lost, when you are in a fear or whatever, come back to this feeling.
How about the situation that needs to be reacted? What should we do then?
When you come back to this feeling, you are not lost in your emotion. You will know what to do.
Okay.
When you are in this feeling, you are calm and peaceful. You know what to do. Only when you are lost, you don't know what to do.
I have experienced that I do not know what to do. During the situations happen. I have the experience.
Yeah, but don't. You are too worried about it. Sometimes don't know what to do. Just okay, don't know what to do. If you are comfortable with not knowing, maybe this situation, this won't occur so much anymore because you are very worried about not knowing.
But the situation needs to be
Have confidence. The situation can maybe react by itself, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't help to be very stressful about it. If you're okay with whatever result that comes, then then you are fearful. Then you don't have to be fearful of what happened. You are thinking too much because you are fearful. What if this happened? What if that happened? And so on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because things sometimes just can solve by itself. When I was working, I have this problem which I got since university, that sometimes my mind just went blank. I can't think at all. I don't know how to. I was working as an engineer. I can't add 1 + 1 is equals to what. My mind just go blank, and it can go for half an hour, 1 hour, and 2 hours. But no problem, because my colleagues know that this guy sometimes he go blank, and then they just take over the job. So you worry too much, it doesn't work. If I keep worrying, then I can't do anything because it happens quite often. You just got to be frank with whatever. We can't control what. If you are okay to accept whatever happened, we are okay with not okay. Finally, after that, the not okay doesn't happen that much.
Okay.
Yeah, try.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes,
Wayne?
thank you. Yes. We'll take the last one from Wayne.
Wayne, can you?
Wait, Bhante, can you hear me?
Yeah, clear.
Do you have any echo that you hear?
Nope.
No,
okay.
Clear, very clear.
Very clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a question which is possibly many people are experiencing now. I have some history of OCD, and because of the current MCO and the COVID situation, it's actually expanded my OCD coverage. I used to handle it very well with very little scope. Now the scope has expanded. So let me explain this expanded version, which I think I'm trained in engineering. So I have a bit of understanding about how all these things happen. Now, from a medical and maybe biology perspective, a car, after hitting under the sun, should be sanitized itself already, right? In a way, it's sterilized because the temperature is very high. Now, because of MCO, because of COVID, we have to keep on sanitizing ourselves. So it comes to a point that whenever I go out to work or run some errands, after meeting people, I have to sanitize myself, get into my car, and then go home. And then the car would be under the sun the next morning, maybe a few hours. So it should be sterilized, right? But from time to time, I need to hop over to my relative's place to deliver some stuff or food. Technically, I would not be exposed to any COVID at all. No such risk, right? But then, because of my OCD experience earlier, I actually think that as soon as I hop into the car and come home, I must go for a bath, to go for a shower, into a new set of clothes. Even though the trip is only 15 minutes or even 5 minutes. Yeah. Now, my logical mind tells me, look, the sun has helped you to sanitize the car. you don't have to shower again. You don't have to go into a new set of clothes. That's the logical mind. Yeah. But the OCD reaction is that, look, whether you like it or not, for the safety's sake, you must shower, you must clean your body and get into a new set of clothes. So I have a struggle with this OCD, which I'm trying to suppress using my logical, but my logical mind keeps on losing. So I cannot deal with this. And I want to throw away this habit, but at the same time, I cannot do it. So how can I suppress this and make my life back to normal? At least when I drive my car to my relative's place, I don't have to go home and then go through the whole washing ritual again. Yeah, thank you, Bhante.
You can't suppress the OCD thinking. It's whatever you resist persists. When you fight it, it becomes stronger. You have to somehow find a way to see that what the OCD says is not true. Basically, in the end, you got to see that all our thoughts are not real. And actually, I'm not saying don't, okay, this one, I hope people don't misunderstand me. But I'm not saying don't take prevention, okay? But even if you have taken all the different prevention, if you were to get COVID, you will get COVID. You can't avoid. If you're somehow, your karma is to get COVID, karma is not a curse, it's just conditionality. Because the conditionality is for you to get COVID, you will still get COVID even though you don't go out at all and you avoid everything. So, but take precaution. We can only do the best we can, but living in your head doesn't work. If you feel that you need to take bath every time you come home, just take bath, but it doesn't work by struggling. After a while, you might see that this is not really the way to live life. Then you might give up. You have to see the mind have to see a better solution. You cannot suppress, because at this moment your mind thinks that taking shower is a good solution. So you got to find a better solution. Then the mind will drop this solution. Or you see that this solution is too lecce, too much obstacle. Then you will drop this. You got to basically see it yourself.
Am I right to understand it this way? In my OCD experience, sometimes I have to count as I wash my hands.
Count,
count numbers 1 to 10 and so on. Yeah, until that's part of the OCD. So as I wash my hands, I will count 1 to let's say 18. Then I say, okay, I reached my target of 18 counting. Then I can stop washing. So, but sometimes I don't have to count at all. I just wash, and then get it done in without counting at all. No time.
I don't know about counting, but to me, it's you got to be aware that when you are washing, you just be aware of your washing. Then after a while, you won't be washing 3 to 4 times. Because you realize I just wash.
Yes. Sometimes I do it. I experience that for a long period of time. I can't be bothered. I just wash and go. Yeah. But sometimes when I have the OCD attack,
once
I will have to
be fair to ourselves. Once in a while, we will forget. We will have a blind spot. So first, you got to be give ourselves some room. Like as in, sometimes we will make mistake. Yeah, but we will try our best.
I see. So am I right to understand that if I treat like meditation, when the OCD attack is there, I just treat, okay, I see it coming. I just do what I need to do to follow it, and then eventually see it go. Yeah. So maybe one day I will be able to kick this OCD thing
if you
away.
can see it, that by not washing or washing, it doesn't really affect that much extra. By washing 2 times doesn't mean that you are 2 times safer. You got to see.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Bhante. Okay. Bhante, sadu.
Okay. Maybe if MLD, you have a short question because we are on time. Can you go ahead?
Yeah, just a question raised by Wei. This is my opinion. Can I just
go ahead?
Yeah. Because I think that he mentioned something about wanting to. He mentioned something about wanting to. Taking bath every time going out, taking bath. You see, coming back taking bath.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think he says that we have got he says that because of his past OCD.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to let Wayne know that, I mean, I'm speaking for myself and a few people that I know. We don't have history of OCD. At least that's what we think, lah. But we also, I think, with this COVID, we are also very obsessed with going out and coming back. So probably I feel that it's actually not even the OCD, but because that he relates it to OCD, which probably is not. A lot of people are doing that.
Good point.
We're
That's
also
why I told him it's like
Yes.
he's not the only one.
Yeah. So I think it's not only him lah. Okay,
Yeah,
a lot of us are we are also obsessed with that. Yeah. Okay, just that is my point. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lim. Thank you.
Yeah, a good point that, you know, we the OCD people think it's them only. Actually, sometimes we think only we are the only one that's having this problem. But now I think, you know, a lot of people immediately they come back home, they will wash every single piece of cloth on their body. They will wash their body from head to toe. So not only you. Okay. One quick question. Someone asked, what's the difference between awareness and mindfulness? Same. I don't like to use the word mindfulness because it's too used. You know, people will have a wrong idea. Awareness, just aware. People will think mindfulness, they got to do something. Awareness, you don't have to do anything. But it's the same words. Okay, we'll end here. I will share merits. Okay.
Yes, Bhante would like to say.
Share merits with all devas, Dharma protectors, guardian deities, share merits with all sentient beings, share merits with all family members, relative friends, especially departed family members, relative friends, and ancestors. In aspiration, always with the wise, avoid be free from created delusion. At the end, again, share merits with all beings, wishing all beings equal share merits. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe dewan maudantu sabba sampati sitya. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe bhutan modantu sabba sampati sitya. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe satanu modantu sabba sampati sitya. Idame nyatinang hotu supita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyatinang hotu supita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyatinang hotu supita hontu nyatayo. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yawa nibbana patiya. Idame punyang asawa kaya wahang hotu. Idame punyang nibbana sa pacayo hotu. Mama punya bagang sabasatanang pajema. Te sabe me samam punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
All right, brothers and sisters, we have a few announcements here. Right, number one is every Friday, as I mentioned at the beginning, every Friday night, 8 p.m., we have the awareness of Dharma in our daily drama, when we come together and share the Dharma in our daily drama, right? And we also have a guided meditation and also Dharma sharing. So feel free to join us every Friday, 8 p.m. And also, if you like to support us, you can make dana through the link that we'll share in the chat box and also the WhatsApp group. It's for BMSM, Basa, Dana, and Katina 2021 for the monastic members. Yep. And that's it for today. Thank you all so much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. See you all again on our next event. Thank you and have a good night.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.